Greetings, cyberspace. It is Terracin, your favorite cyber bitch here, and god damn it, keep it down. I have a migraine. Yes, that is the title of tonight's stream. My head hurts so much. I see we have a Bumfluff in the chat. Hello, Bumfluff. And I have with me tonight Scooby and Sarah. How are y'all?
I'm okay. It's a little congested, but other than that, I'm okay.
How you feeling?
My head fucking hurts.
I'm sorry, that sucks.
American Celt just came into the call and then he left.
Oh, he's probably having issues with his computer.
Okay.
Oh, there he is. Hey, Kelt.
And he falls out.
Well, that's going to be probably an ongoing thing then, I guess.
Yeah, his laptop doesn't want to cooperate with the mouse and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Well, how you been, Scooby?
Volume down just a little bit.
What'd you ask me, Sarah? I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was like, how you been? How you doing?
All right.
Hello.
Hey, American Celt.
Hey, baby brother. I'm glad you made it home safe.
Don't worry. Partner didn't seem to recognize me for a while.
You need to get microphone or headset or some shit like that.
Yeah, I'm getting that set up.
So your cat didn't recognize you?
He didn't seem to. He was terrified of me for a while.
Well, that's because you went away for so long. He thought you abandoned him.
Yeah, I couldn't bring him with me as well.
No, Amber would have eaten him.
And the point was to separate him from Kilkenny, so they don't kill each other on the way.
Remember, put coffee grounds in the car to get rid of that smell.
All right.
So how was your trip home?
Okay, until I got to Atlanta.
And what happened in Atlanta?
Well, I noticed that my gas light was on, and then the traffic slowed, and at what point it stopped entirely. And this was on the interstate.
Well, that's Atlanta for you. Anyone that has driven down I-75 and had to go through Atlanta knows that that turns into gridlock traffic. I swear to God, it's worse than New York traffic.
So
nothing is worse than New York traffic. Seriously, nothing.
We get on I-75 and get into Atlanta traffic.
I don't think I've driven through Georgia. Pretty much driven through every other state on the coast. No, South Carolina and Georgia. Those are the two I haven't driven through.
So I eventually got to a gas station. After filling up, I spent about the next 30 minutes just trying to find my way out of the city.
That's Atlanta for you.
I mean, there was one point the road forked. I thought I was on the right side. And then it forks back into the same road. It even had those concrete dividers for some reason. And there was no reason for it to fork. It was just going to rejoin.
Like I said, there was a reason for it. I just wasn't there to be able to tell you what the reason was. Probably some sort of construction.
No, there was no construction. It's not those concrete roadblocks either.
Well, there had to have been a reason for them to divide the road like that.
Yeah, they're dicks.
Well, yes, the Department of Transportation in any state is a dick. I especially hate the ones in Georgia. So, did your cat ever come around and like be like, "Oh, Daddy"?
Oh yeah, yeah. He was meowing when I opened the door, like he was excited to see someone.
Was he out of food?
Nope, I left the bag open, left it on the floor.
Was he out of water?
Nope, he had 3 large bowls. 2 of them were still full.
Was his litter box full?
Yeah, I needed to dump that out.
Yeah, that's why he was crying, as he wanted someone to empty his litter box. Guaranteed that's what it was. He's like, somebody empty it. I don't have opposable thumbs, you fuckers.
Are you trying to sound like Burnside?
No. I'm not sitting here saying communist sodomite, transdimensional, what the fuck ever.
Sodomite?
No, it's transdimensional, quad gender, brony lord. Or some shit like that. Did I get it right, Scooby?
Quad gender transdimensional brony lords.
Okay, I got it. Finally got it right. Okay. Wow, everyone sounds, more down than me, and I'm the one with the fucking migraine. What the hell, people?
I just really got nothing to talk about. Just had a long day trying to get everything organized and together. So it's taxing.
What were you trying to get organized?
I just had a lot of running around, trying to get everything, set for like with the new year coming now. Try to get a jump on things, that sort of thing. Probably gonna, any taxes that I have, I'll probably file before the end of the week. Get it done.
Yeah.
It's usually what I do. I'm one of those people that gets everything done like in January, so that way it's just over and done with. What about the rest of you? Anything, you get anything done? Today's technically the first day of the new year since yesterday everyone's closed.
For me, not well. I went and saw my counselor, and it was the first time meeting up with her. So I had to do the
That's
whole
good.
explaining. She actually asked me because I told her how my boyfriend lives in Chicago. She's like, "What brought you guys to be separated?" I'm like, "Oh, we've always lived apart." Then I explained how I met Burnside, and how, like, I'm like, eventually ended up going through, how my living situation is. And she's like, well, sounds to me like you need to get the hell out of there. And I was like, yeah, best of all, out of the damn state. So, of course, as usual with counselors, we have to have goals to work towards and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, always.
So my goals are, of course, to at least walk more. And today was actually a nice day, but for me, after I've seen a counselor or my psychiatrist, because they want to know what's going on, that shit drains me. So literally, I came home and I went to sleep.
I understand. It's it has a tendency to get under your skin.
It just, it just drains me. So tomorrow I'll be working for my aunt because I owe her money for a cell phone bill. Um, so most likely it'll be Friday that I'm finally able to like start walking. Because the past few days haven't been too hot, haven't been too cold. I mean,
Okay.
even Kelp didn't complain about the weather. And normally he bitches about the weather during the winter.
Wait, what weather?
The weather that we had while you were here. You actually didn't bitch about it being too hot.
Katrina's?
Okay, that's inside the house. I said weather.
Yeah, I complained about the fog.
Okay, that I have no control over. And don't forget, we both got sunburned.
Yeah, it also didn't feel hot most of the time I was there.
That's what I mean. Is you weren't bitching about how hot it was, like you did the last time you were here.
Oh, by the way, did you tell Katrina?
Yes, I told Katrina. She didn't listen. She ignored me.
So yeah, Mexico
Apparently,
had 72 mayors assassinated in 1 year. Okay.
yeah. That no, it's fine. Well, obviously, you know, Mexico just needs to be turned into a giant parking lot.
Hmm.
Don't let Six hear you say that.
I don't care. I would even say it to him.
Why shouldn't Six hear that?
He's
Six is half
Mexican.
Mexican.
Hmm.
Yeah. Hence all the gunslinger things, you know. Not just because he's from Texas. He's actually Tejano. So Tejano are the Mexicans who, when they made Texas part of America, they just shrugged and kept going about their business. You know, good news, you're all Americans now. Oh, see. And they just went about what they were doing.
Bumfluff says that it used to take me 2 days to calm down after seeing a psychiatrist. Oh man, it just so draining. That's why I go to sleep
You know,
because then I regenerate. You know, I rejuvenate after sleeping, and it's actually how I deal with stress and being upset is I go to sleep because when I'm asleep I don't have to fucking deal with it.
do you know how a quarter, like in the medical and fiscal too, the same thing, are 90 days, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that I usually get new psychiatrists every 90 to 180 days, depending when I was going to therapy? They'd last maybe. I think the longest I ever had one last with me was 9 months.
Yeah, I get a new one every so often too, including counselors.
I have not had one last a year. They don't like me, you know?
And damn, they must. Well, the longest psychiatrist I had, he's no longer there. Uh, lasted about 3 years. So I was glad to have him. I liked him, but then the man had to go and retire. So I lost my good doctor. Now I'm having to get used to someone new, and I don't like having to get used to someone new because then I have to tell them everything all the fuck over again.
The medical profession here in New York is very bad, unfortunately. There's no middle ground in psychiatry. What I mean by that is you don't have a lot of psychiatrists that just deal with people who have like normal problems. you either have psychiatrists who deal with the very rich, or psychiatrists who deal with the very poor. A lot of junkies, a lot of criminals, a lot of that sort of thing. And so you have psychiatrists who are either dealing with like very wealthy patients who have all sorts of manias, or very poor patients who are all sorts of crazy. And like if you're just like an average person, like working class, middle class, whatever, and you just have problems, uh, good luck. You're either going to have to try to find coverage, treatment rather that you can't afford, or you get to go with all the crazy people. But at least it's affordable.
That's kind of how it is here.
Yeah, it sucks. Like
So
this is the
I have
thing.
to go where all the crazy people are.
Yeah, I can't really deal with those places. Like this is the thing because they, you've seen what I look like. I just unfortunately crazy people like to pick fights with me. They see a big guy, especially the way I look, and oh, okay, I'm gonna pick a fight with him. So I don't like going to places like that. It really pisses me off. I'm there to talk to the psychiatrist. I'm not there to have a fight with you. Get away from me.
Pretty much. So today, I'm sitting there waiting to be seen, and I'm playing on my phone, and something tells me look up. So I look up, and there's my ex-fiance standing there in line waiting to check in.
Oh, lovely.
And I didn't wave at him or nothing, but he turns his head and waves at me. And my heart literally stops. No fucking joke, my heart stopped. Because when it went to beating again, it did it double time. And I just kind of smiled, and after he checks in, he sits like 5 feet away from me. So I sent him a text saying, you need to cut your hair. Because I'm used to seeing him with a military cut, an army cut. So, and that actually looks best on him. And it was just weird because he was there with his daughter, and for whatever reason, he doesn't want me to meet his kids. Yet he waved at me, and his daughter looks at me. And I'm just
sounds like a fucked up situation. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I'm literally sitting there texting him, so as to not bring attention to me. So that, although I think his daughter caught on because I heard her say something to the effect of just talk to her. But I'm just, I told Burnside about it, and he's like, fuck it.
Well, that's good at least.
Oh, Burnside knows he's won.
From the way you're describing this guy, he sounds like a piece of shit anyway. So it's his
He's
loss.
actually normally a really good guy. It's just he got screwed over so many times, and unfortunately, I was one of the first to do it. Although mine actually has reason. His ex-wives cheated on him while he was deployed for literally no reason other than I was horny.
Well, that sucks.
Whereas mine was, I'm sorry, baby, I lost my fucking mind after my daddy died. And nobody stopped me. So, it's a bit different. That's why he's forgiven me. But him and I will most likely talk sometime next week. And yes, Wolfie, I did see your video. Wolfie's in the chat. Hi, Wolfie.
Hi, Wolfie.
Oh, yes, Bump Love says, and then the fun of medication changes. Yeah, see, I had to go see a different provider instead of the one I was assigned because my roommate had a doctor's appointment. She bitched and moaned until I changed my appointment. and I asked for an anti-anxiety medicine. Instead, I'm given another mood stabilizer. And I'm just like, I wanted anti-anxiety, not another mood stabilizer. So it's just like, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
All right, Patches. Give Daddy a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. You asleep there, Sarah? It sounds like you're breathing really hard to be sleeping. I think Sarah's asleep. Yep. Sarah's got to be asleep. Sarah. Queenie. Dick Doctor. Yeah, I think she passed out.
How are you, Tara?
I have a migraine. It's your fault.
My fault.
Mm-hmm. You left me.
Well, I'm not apologizing.
You left me.
I had to.
No, I told you. Go get your cats, get your clothes, come back down.
And stay where?
Well, you seem to do good at the aunt and uncle's place.
Yeah, but I would never be able to play my video games there.
Sure you could. Just put a TV in the bedroom. Wolfie, if you're still watching, feel free to join. I sent you a Hangout link. So I'm slowly working on the Cedar Key video because I'm snagging old time images because, of course, you know, we go down there and every place is closed that we want to go into, like the Cedar Key Historical Museum. Closed. Which is where I would have gotten most of the old time footage and the history of Cedar Key. So, baby brother, when you were down here, what was your favorite part of your trip down here?
Probably going to Cedar Key that first time.
The first time?
Yeah.
You didn't like the second time?
Fog. Couldn't see much of what was there.
Oh, bullshit. You just couldn't see the power plant across the water.
I couldn't see if I could see the dolphin again.
Oh, no. If the dolphins were going to come up, they would have come up closer, too.
What about dolphins now?
I saw a wild dolphin for the first time in Florida.
Oh, very cool. I remember I seen one of them when I was a teenager when I went down there. The dolphins were all right, but I'd seen dolphins before. I was actually more impressed with the pelicans. Never seen one before outside a movie.
We were feeding pelicans.
Cool.
Not intentionally. I was literally gutting the fish and tossing the heads over into the side of the water. and the pelicans were chasing after it to gobble it down before the seagulls could get to it.
Well, there's actually one waiting in there, waiting for us to drop it. And there's one pelican that was stealing other people's catch as they were still reeling them in.
Yep, I got video of that sucker still hooked on a hook.
Oh yeah, on the drive back, I found some really good news. My favorite band is coming out with a new album this year.
And who's your favorite band again?
Sabaton.
Oh, yeah. The band that, ironically, your Christian dimwit mother actually likes.
Yeah.
And boy. Sorry, forgot the mic was on.
You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Dog wants his snacks. He's driving me nuts because I don't have what he wants, so he's being finicky and annoying.
Well, you gotta give him what he wants.
I would, but the fat bastard ate it all.
Well, yeah, you're not allowed to call him a fat bastard. He's your fat bastard.
Who's the fat bastard?
True.
His
Very
dog
true.
Patches.
Yeah, he's gotten really big. You know what it is? I gotta fix the tires on the bike because I can't walk him as much as he demands. So I have a special, like, it's a boom that you put on the side of the seat post, and you attach the leash to it. And that way you can ride the bike while the dog runs next to it.
You were saying
man.
my computer's causing everyone.
What's it doing now? Bless you.
Thank you. Oh, so for Christmas, the mechanic got me Steam card so I could get Payday 2.
Cool.
So now I get to play with
Congratulations.
Mama, the mechanic, Burnside. Burnside and I have already decided where we're playing when he gets home.
Cool. My wife doesn't like anything I like. We don't play any video games. We did play Guitar Hero for a little while, but that got old quick.
Yeah, you had to buy the new versions to get newer songs.
Not even that. We just kept playing the same shit over and over because we both sucked at it. It was just get boring, you know.
Yep.
Usually when you play it over and over, you get better at it.
It still gets boring.
Yeah. I
I mean, there are games that I'll play over and over again because they're not boring to me, but to other people they would be.
Well, it's just, Guitar Hero itself, it was one of those things like I played the guitar a little bit when I was younger and towards the end of high school and into college. I even took it actually for one full semester, and then I started taking it another semester and my father got sick and I couldn't really deal with the demands the teacher needed for the advanced class, so I dropped it. That's when I decided to go to take the classes up over in Manhattan at the Scratch Academy for DJing because I didn't enjoy the guitar, believe it or not. It's one of those things. I have gross and fine motor skill dysfunction. I can't get my hands to move as fast as my head thinks.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem I was having with the guitar is I could read the music. A lot of people laugh actually. I actually had the same exact disorder as Fry in Futurama. You remember when he makes the deal with the devil and he winds up getting the devil's hands?
Yeah.
I actually have that disorder, what Fry has. I have what's called stupid fingers. You can tell me how to do something. I literally can't get my brain to tell my hands how to do it. Like certain things I just can't do. It's not that I'm stupid. I literally I lack certain parts of like the hand-eye coordination necessary to do it. Um, like certain things, if you ask me to draw it, it would look like a child drew it because I can't get my brain to get my hand to move in the proper way to draw what you need me to draw. Other things I can draw fantastic. It's just it's spotty. And that's one of the problems I have though is like with musical instruments like that.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get my hands to move as fast as they would be necessary to actually play the music. But when it came to like using DJ equipment, because it's all knobs and dials, it just for whatever reason it was easier for my brain to wrap around. So I switched to that. And then they came out with that god awful DJ Hero, which we will not speak of.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yes.
Are you going to say there's a ukulele hero or a banjo hero? Not banjo and kazooie?
I actually went to school with a guy who looked just like Banjo Kazooie.
You had a bear go to school?
No, I mean this guy actually looked like they modeled the bear after his face. They actually used to tell him that all the time, and I seen the guy. I'm like, holy shit, you're not kidding. Seriously, this guy looked like that friggin' bear. Like he had that same doofy expression on his face all the time. Wow, I haven't thought of that big bastard in about 20 years. It was, my God, it was 20 years this January that I met that son of a bitch. Wow. I'm actually glad that this got brought up. You just gave me a topic I can bring up while we're on the air since, we have the free time going. I'm probably going to be going back up to Rome, New York this summer because it was 20 years ago. I can't believe I'm actually saying this. I never thought it would get to this point in my life. 20 years ago that I stayed at Woodstock 99. So I think I'll go back up there just to see, what's cooking. They might even have something for it. Who knows?
Oh, baby brother, the next time you come, we'll go to the actual Manatee State Park.
Great, watch more elderly people snorkel.
Fuck off, dickhead.
I can't believe you didn't see it go there.
Go to hell.
If I want to watch old people swim, I'd go to the Y.
If you wanted to watch old people swim, you'd throw your mother into a lake. Wait.
So-
No, that's
I
if you
said
want to weather
swim, not struggle.
Okay.
Let me ask you. Now, this is Manatee State Park. Are there actually manatees there?
Oh, they take
Allegedly.
refuge there during the cold times of the winter. Most likely, they were not there.
I'm just curious of something. They're a protected species, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, if one dies of natural causes, are you allowed to cook it?
No.
Damn.
I got another question.
What if you film it in its death throes to prove that you didn't have anything to do with it?
Nope. It's illegal to eat them.
I got a question. If
Yeah.
you have to be drunk to mistake a manatee for a mermaid, how drunk do you have to be to mistake a senior citizen as a manatee?
True. You got to realize
I
too.
was fucking sober.
You sure?
And the fucker was wearing, you were there, gray trunks, and they had snorkel gear on, and they were making the sounds and looked like fucking manatees. Fuck off.
And they are all shirtless and pale enough that they look like the fires of Gondor were lit.
You
The
know,
beacons are lit!
You have
Gondor
to-
company! Sorry, Scooby.
no, it's all right. Do you know? You ever hear the term when somebody gets up and they haven't really woken up completely, that they're groggy?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, that actually comes from the pirates. They used to drink grog. And
Yeah.
what grog was they would take the water that they had on ship, and to keep it from getting all slimy with like algae,
Bacteria.
yeah, and bacteria, they would add rum to it to cut it. And so you were drinking water that was spiked with rum, and they would refer to that as grog. And so what it is, you would slowly get drunk throughout the course of your shift while you were on ship. It wasn't like it would hit you all at once. It was like by the end of it, you were slurring and, like you were a little bit wobbly. And because you were on ship, it actually helped because the rocking of the ship, it was meeting your feet, basically. So you're sitting there stumbling across the ship, but the ship's going side to side anyway. So you're straight, And yeah, that's where you get the term groggy was from them drinking that. So the thing is, now you also have to remember, unless you basically unless you pulled out your gun and were pointing it in the wrong direction, they didn't really have eye tests either back then. So you had people saying that they seen all sorts of shit, off the starboard bow. This guy could have been blind as fuck, and he probably could have been 3 sheets to the wind. If you look at some of these descriptions that they had of these sea monsters, you also have to remember now, some of the water that they were drinking, they were cutting it with the rum. That doesn't mean necessarily that it was working. Now, it could have been that they were killing whatever bacteria was in there, and it was causing it to ferment. So you were basically getting like a rum-laced weak beer, almost, in essence. So these guys, they might have even been hallucinating slightly off of this concoction by the time they were out at sea for a few weeks. So who knows what the fuck they were seeing?
True.
Like, seriously, look at how they describe the mermaids. You ever notice how they all look like Playboy bunnies from the waist up? These guys were probably destroyed when they seen these things. Like, I'll be completely honest with you. I've seen some wild shit when I was out in the water just locally. And I was stone sober. I remember when I was a kid, I knew what it was because I seen one of the things in the book. A sunfish. These things are fucking huge. This thing came in at Gilgo Beach. It came into the docking area. It, for whatever reason, it wandered in out the open ocean and wound up in the bay. And we had a cabin cruiser when I was a kid. And I hear this thing bumping into the boat. I'm trying to sleep. I'm in the bow. I'm in the nose of this thing trying to sleep on the bed. And I hear, up against the boat. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And so I get out, and I got my best friend with me because he's sleeping on the boat with us. We took him down to the docks with us. And we get out, and we look, and you know, it's a full moon, and I can see this thing in the water, and it blew my mind looking at this thing. And what that thumping was it got stuck in between the pylon and the bow of the boat, and that was its flipper smacking up against the boat where I was asleep. So we tried to move this thing, and I'll never forget it. We're lucky we didn't get hernias. These things, when they're fully grown, they can weigh like 2 or 3 tons. And we tried to lift this thing up out the water to get it out of where it was. I remember, and the nets that we were using were actually starting to break. And what it was, these were nets that they were aluminum nets with the wooden dowel up the middle of it. So it was a reinforced aluminum net. And I remember hearing the wood creaking and groaning inside of this aluminum sleeve. And this thing must have weighed a ton. Well, not an actual ton. I mean, it must have weighed a good amount because it actually, I watched these nets. We're lucky that the shrapnel didn't blind us, God forbid. But I remember watching the poles just completely disintegrate when we were trying to pull this thing out of the water. Luckily, we were able to get it out from in between the boat, you know, and it was able to swim away. But this crazy shit you see in the ocean that you never know what it is. You're gonna sit there and be like, "My God, what the fuck is this thing?" Like, seriously. Have any of you ever seen a sea robin?
Doesn't
No.
ring a bell.
Oh, they are such beautiful creatures, sea robins. A sea robin is a type of fish that you bring in out of the water, and it has fins that look like bat wings and a long ass tail, and it's got feet that look like spider's legs. It actually has fucking legs, this fish. And you know why they call it a sea robin?
No.
This fucking thing starts chirping at you.
Okay.
Yeah. So you pull out this fucking black fish with big ass yellow eyes, big orange fin looking wings, spider legs, a big ass tail that looks like a rat, and it starts chirping at you. Used to scare the shit out of me when I was a kid when we would pull those things out. You get these other things, they were called, we called them, the local term for them is hackleheads. But the term I've heard from is rockfish or toadfish. And you pull these things out of the water, and what it is, they got a mouth with something like 3 sets of jaws in it or whatever. Or three sets of teeth set in the jaws. And they can bite through a bucket. They're the most nasty bastards, but you'll pull these things out. They're what we call around here garbage fish.
Are they edible?
Hackleheads are supposed to be delicious. Old man Roger, may he rest in peace, he used to say to my father all the time, Junior, you just cut the thing down behind the gills, throw the head back in the water. It's the most delicious thing you'll ever eat. I watched Roger gut one of these things in front of me. It wasn't kidding either. And it's literally, the body is all meat. But if you look it up, it's the most ugly fish you're ever going to see. It was actually, I remember when I was a boy, it was the first fish I ever caught. I caught one that was bright yellow with orange fins.
And it's called a garbage fish?
It's called, you could look up rockfish or toadfish. The term we use is hacklehead. That's Hacklehead. That's the term for it. Hacklehead.
Hold on, I'm looking up toadfish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, rockfish. Aren't they the ones with the poisonous spines?
Nah, no. Let me see. I'm gonna try see if I can find a picture of this damn thing, because it's, a lot of these fish around here. See if I can find it.
Hang on, let me present me.
Yep, found one. I found one first shot when I typed it in. There it is. Hold on, let me show you guys a picture. There, this is the beauty right here. You pull one of these things in, you're lucky. Now, this guy who's doing this right here, he's crazy because you can lose fingers like doing this. Let me show you this. Hold on.
We're all trying to screen share.
Okay, let me see if you got
This
it.
is what I have.
Yep, that's it. That's it.
I thought we were talking about the sea robin.
Sea robin? Yeah, those things too. I'll see if I can find a picture of it.
Oh, I've already got one pulled up.
Let me see. Yeah, that's it. The one that right there. That. Yep. The illustration. That's exactly what it looked like. The picture I brought. Yeah. If you go down diagonal from it, the one that's got its tail twisted. Yep, that's it. That's the color of the one that I pulled in one that looked just like that. Yep. Those things. Now you see where the fin is, right behind the gills. Yeah, you start right where the fin is,
And
behind
you
the
fillet
gills, and
down.
you just decapitate the bastard, and you throw the head back in the water, and you keep the body, and it's supposed to be really good eating. But yeah, you see how nasty this motherfucker looks. Yeah,
There we go. That one looks evil.
yeah. These are the things that we pull. I pull these things in constantly because they go into the crab traps. And I'd put a broomstick in and I'd let it bite down on the broomstick and I'd just fling it back in the water. It's easier that way. Because these things can take your hand off. Like, now when I say take your hand off, people are going to like be like, oh, Scooby, you can't take off your hand. You know, a big enough one will take off, like, it could take your fingers off at the knuckles. So you lose all 4 fingers at the knuckles. I mean, really, we're going to sit here about semantics because it didn't take the rest of the bones. You know, it's just, it took, it takes all your fingers. I'm saying that's your hand as far as I'm concerned. But these things got a really strong bite. This is nothing, though. These things are just vicious. You got to see the fish that your brother, if he got the right picture of the sea robin, oh, what an ugly bastard they are. See if I can find one.
Sea robin.
Oh yeah, they are ugly as sin. They really are.
They're not ugly, but yeah, they do
You
have
see how it's
legs.
got the feet? See what I mean? They got feet.
It's like
Yeah, and that's not the color they are up here. They don't look like that. These things up by me are black and they got orange wings.
this one is called the East Atlantic Red Bernard.
Yeah, we call it a sea robin. Looks more like that. Ugly fuck.
That one's pretty.
Yeah, you gotta try pulling one of these damn things out of the water and having it chirp at you.
I'd keep it.
You can go right ahead with that. Look at that. The thing, like I said, see, I'm not joking. It has feet like a spider and it got that big ass wing looking friggin' fins.
Yeah, they actually walk on those fins. The legs are really just like feelers. They're sensitive to
That's it right there.
amino acids.
That's the thing. That's what it looks like when we pull them up out here. Looks just like that. Can't stand those damn fish. No, they're also biters. I tell you what, when you pull something like that out of the water, and it's like 2, 3 feet long, and it's chirping at you, and it's making eye contact with you. It's, I don't know. I don't like pulling fish out the water that chirp at me. Yeah, see, look at that. Now picture that thing. It just looks at you and it just starts opening its mouth and chirping.
I'd be chirping right back to it.
Nah, fuck that. Yeah, those things aren't that bad either. You know, it's like the shit you don't like to get. You don't want to get a hagfish.
Nah, hagfish fish are fucking hideous.
You get hagfish, and every once in a while you get a lamprey. Those things are nasty.
Yeah, hagfish. These fuckers. Ugh.
Yeah, that's it right there next to the call with the teeth. That's a lamprey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this nasty bastard. Every once in a while you'll pull in a fish and you'll have one of these things stuck on it.
Yep.
You want to see something that'll really blow your mind? Look up oarfish.
This is what we were catching.
Yeah, croakers. If you want, look up snapper fish. What snappers are, I've always heard them referred to as baby bluefish. Nah, that ain't it.
I
I'm
typed in
guessing
what
what
you
I'm.
asked.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that's not it. It's probably a local term up here. Yeah, it's definitely a local term. If you type in bluefish, then that's probably what it is we go for.
Oh, we have bluefish.
I just want to make double sure because they eat these nasty, freaking smelly fish all summer in my house.
I caught a bluefish. They have
Yep,
fucking
those are
teeth.
snappers.
They'll take your fingers off.
That's why we call them snappers with those disgusting spines on their back and the smell. You can't get the smell of these things off your hands.
But I was told that they don't have a taste to them when you cook them, so I grilled mine and I coated it in fish seasoning. It tasted really fucking good.
Oh, you would love my family. Do you know how many buckets of these things we pull in every summer?
This right here is a sea trout.
This is what my family eats.
This
all
is what I
summer.
call a vampire fish because it has those two little things.
Yeah. You want to see a good eating fish that you guys are down that way, especially you, Kel, now that you're back in Bama? Cobia.
Cobia?
Cobia. 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 That's a good fish. Big, too. They can run about 8 foot. I always wanted to go for them myself. I was trying to get my brother-in-law to go for cobia, but he would always give me a hard time.
Here you go, baby brother.
Ah, looks like a catfish.
It's a really good fighting fish, and use it both down, down Gulf Way, so you're going to probably get a good chance to get these things.
He lives pretty far up north in Alabama.
Well, it's a day trip is what I'm saying. You go down to,
No, for
cast
him it's
off
not a day trip.
Wow, I feel bad for both of you guys that, going to the water is like an odyssey.
Mm-mm.
Like, seriously, there are times
seriously, for him, it's more than a day trip because just him driving to the southern tip of Alabama is like almost 6 hours on its own.
Wow. That's so crazy.
Me, I can drive east or west for an hour 45 minutes. I hit water. It's one of the good things I love about living in Florida is I can always go to the beach.
Yeah. Well, I live literally on the coast.
Yeah, this cobia, it looks just like a giant catfish.
I don't know if it's a relative or not. I know catfish are all saliniforms, so I don't know if a cobia is part of the family. I just know it's a fish I always wanted to go for. Just look up cobia. Just type cobia into Google and look up what family they are.
Hold on.
Let me see, family. No, it's not a catfish.
Okay. I love catching catfish. They can put up such a wonderful fight.
I never did that noodle and shit myself.
No, I don't do noodling. All right, so this is what's called a channel cat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, the fight they put up. Oh, it's so much fun. Now you can tell when you're catching a channel cat.
Yeah.
Because they have this extra fin right here.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with a regular catfish, these are two different types of channel cats. I usually catch these ones right here. Lower ones.
I think we do get one of these species up here. We do get cats up here. Believe it or not, I do very rarely, because I just don't go freshwater because I don't have any of the rigging for it. But there is some freshwater fishing you can do around here. Specifically, right up under the train tracks in Babylon Township, there's a river. It connects, ironically enough, right into the bay, but there is a river there.
This is a beautiful channel cat. I usually catch my catfish, and I have caught some this big, at night.
Yeah.
When the tide is turning, when the water is moving.
Well, catfish are nocturnal.
Oh yeah.
You ever go for fluke or flounder?
No, I'm not a big fan of it. Jesus Christ. Okay, I know for a fact that catfish or any fish this size is not edible because by then they have worms and parasites.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like eating catfish because it's a bottom feeder. Well, technically, all fish are types of bottom feeders.
No, not all fish.
And what I really hate is people that are like, I hate bottom feeders, yet you'll sit there and eat shrimp. And I'm just looking at you like, shrimp eat the shit from fish.
You know, it's funny that we're talking about catfish and bottom feeding fish. Do you know why I'm sitting here right now talking to all of you? Is I started looking into aquaculture. Specifically, the white Asian carp, the ones that leap out of the water and smack into people. I was looking into it specifically because of how big the Asian population has surged up here. And I was looking to see about just taking the fish out of the rivers to over like in the rest of the country and using that fish to feed everyone here, because we got all this fish already in these rivers, and yet we're importing this shit constantly from China, like on a daily basis. We're getting all this fish imported for these people to eat. I'm saying to myself, fuck it, let's just take the homegrown shit. Like
these
just
are
going.
snail cats. We catch these as well.
Mm-hmm.
And usually what it's a courtesy to do, even if you're going to throw the catfish back, is you snip the bone, which is what these spines are. It's nothing but a bone.
Yeah.
We snip them so that the next person catching it doesn't get injured by it.
Ah.
How far away is that woman?
What woman?
In the picture. I'm trying to figure out how big that fish is.
That fish is big, covering the entire table.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's about 7 foot, counting the tail.
So how far away is that woman from the fish?
About 3 feet.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm guessing the woman's about 5 foot tall, so the fish is probably about 2 feet longer than she is tall.
This is usually the size that you catch.
The spines on that fish can kill the crocodile hunter.
Yeah. Oh, you want to see something really cool? We got one of these up here, and this thing scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. You get them very rarely. You'll get what they call a pocket from the Gulf. And what it is, it's when we get a really bad heat wave up here, and I think it was probably about 92 or 93. And we got what's called an oarfish.
Oh, I know what that is.
Yeah, looks like a sea serpent.
A catfish killed by a red stonefish.
So it got stoned.
It choked on that bitch.
You're turning into the kitten food.
And those spines fucking hurt if they get in you and they have the fucking slime on them. That slime will cause your finger to get infected. It's not poisonous, but it hurts like a son of a bitch. We also have what's known as hardhead.
Hardhead, let me see this. Oh, I've seen these things. Yeah, those.
These we tend to toss back because they're nasty. But some people like them.
You want to see the one thing that I hated pulling into the boat more than anything else?
You mean sharks?
Yeah, but specifically something I'll show you. Hold on, check this out. You'd be fishing, right? And you're like, oh, cool, I got something. And you know, like you go to reel it in, and lo and behold, it's one of these things. And it's like, holy shit! You think it's what you call it? Where's the presenting thingy? Here it is. And you get one of these instead. You think that you got yourself like something good, and boom, you get what's called a spiny dogfish. It's a miniature shark.
Yeah.
Hate pulling these damn things in. We would get these, and we would
They have
get
those
these things.
exposed spines on their fins.
Yeah, we get those, and we would get these things constantly too. Hold on. I hated. Oh, mud puppies. Not mud puppies. Did we get mud puppies? Yeah, I think we did get those things, but we get these too.
Let's see here. I'm trying to find the type of shark I usually catch and eat.
Yeah, you get these things. Not the sand tiger.
You don't want to have fun with a goblin shark?
You get these things every once in a while. The sand sharks. These. No, wait, that's a sand tiger. No, is that a sand tiger? No, that's a regular sand shark. And you get these things, and they would like just circle the boat. They're like small sharks. But the one thing that I hated was this thing. Hold on. These things, these scare the shit out of you when you see them. Because they literally look like a miniature version of Jaws.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, but picture you're in like
Mako shark?
No, this is a poor beagle.
Oh.
Yeah, this is it's this small ass shark that you like. You see the guy holding it there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a Mako's usually like when we would pull a Mako on the boat, average size for a Mako is probably about like a 10-footer or so, 12-footer. Poor beagles, you usually get them about like 6 foot. You know, they're not a particularly large shark. But it's unnerving, you know, you're sitting there and you're in like an inflatable raft and all of a sudden you got this friggin' shark following you.
So who wants to play with the goblin shark?
Oh, yeah, those things don't bother me. They're just ugly as sin. Six gills, that one, yeah, those things, ugh. That's a frilled shark. Then you got those, the 6 gills. Those are those big-ass sharks that they got up over in Greenland.
This woman's sitting here swimming with whale sharks around her. Dude, I would not do that. Why? Not because whale sharks are dangerous, because they're fucking not. It's because they might accidentally swallow you whole.
Oh, yeah, they're dangerous. They're just not violent. They're not going to try to eat you intentionally. You just get crushed.
There you go, whale shark.
Yeah.
I think it was a diver who was actually swallowed, but the shark spit him back out.
Oh, you guys want to see something cool? Type in basking shark, Gilgo Beach. That's Giglo.
Typed in sharks of Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, I was going to say, because there's actually a video from when I used to work at Gilgo. We had a friggin' basking shark wash up on the beach.
Let's see here.
Have you heard about the tiny shark that sent a naval sub back to base for repairs? One of those tiny species of sharks, like all their teeth are fused into one set, so when they replace it, they replace the entire set. Anyways, it bit off
bull shark.
Huh?
The two-headed bull shark.
Oh, great! Two-headed shark attack.
The pollution.
Anyways, there was a tiny shark that had bit a piece of rubber off a naval sub. Thing was had something to do with their sonar dome, and it somehow fucked it up that they had to go back to base for repairs. I think it was a cookie cutter shark.
That sounds about, yep, that sounds about right, because of the type of bites that it leaves.
Mm-hmm.
They have a tendency to bite onto the sonar housings.
Yep.
Yeah, I found a picture of that basking shark when it washed up on the beach by me.
There you go. A black tip versus a spinner.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, check this out. Look at that shark's bottom jaw.
Yeah. That's
That's a prehistoric one. They're all extinct.
that's a high Nerpicon, I think it is.
I don't know. A
There's a-
dorkfish.
Now, bull sharks, even at our river place, we have to watch out for them.
Yeah,
Because
they go
bull
fresh
sharks
water
are the
too.
only shark that can live in salt, brackish, and fresh water.
Yeah. We have a problem with them every once in a while around here.
Wasn't there one found as far north as Canada?
Mm-hmm.
That's the one. If you go back, that's the thing. I misspoke when I was showing the other picture. That was actually, I think, a picture of a sand shark. This is a sandbar shark. We'll get them every once in a while when the weather gets really warm. These things are a pain in the ass. Yeah, we would get nurse sharks. We get lemon sharks.
We get a lot of
hammerheads. Yeah. We don't get a lot of hammerheads up here. Believe it or not, you get them, but like that's a little bit further out. Like you got to go into the Atlantic proper, but like coastally, oh yeah. Like the one thing I hate that we get around here, and I'm surprised you'll get them in the bay, threshers.
Manatees.
Mm-hmm.
Those Indiana Jones sharks.
Yeah. Every time I see manatees, it makes me think about gravy.
What the fuck? What the hell is wrong with you?
What? I'm sorry. They look very tasty.
I see manatees and I think grandma snorkeling.
I see manatees. I think sandwich.
I see sharks, I think sandwich.
I'm not even going to actually argue with you. I used to eat shark. It's one of my favorite dishes, Mako.
Mm-hmm. I love eating shark.
I think dogfish is the most common shark eaten.
No, I don't eat dogfish. I don't like dogfish.
Well, I meant like served in restaurants most often dogfish.
Well, that's because it's also the cheapest.
I love how I type in Gilgo Beach basking shark and all it brings up is Gilgo Beach murders, Gilgo Beach killer, Gilgo Beach dead bodies, Gilgo Beach serial killer, Gilgo Beach slayings. Oh, that's great.
How about Gilgo Beach beaching?
No, it was just a few years ago. It's kind of messed up. There was this girl I knew. I actually knew the girl. And she disappeared. Like, I didn't know her well. I met her once. And she kind of had an attitude with me when I met her. It was me and my wife, and I met her and her sister's husband. The sister's husband is the guy I knew, and he's like, this is my wife and my sister-in-law. I'm like, hi, how you doing? You know, that was it. And then she disappeared, and it was all over the news and everything. But this is the same beach where I used to work where this friggin' shark washed up also. Yeah, really interesting. You get like sharks and sea turtles would wash up here all the time. There was a serial killer. And this was also the same beach that was in the pilot episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Pretty cool. Not that my friend's sister-in-law got chopped the fuck up, but I mean the rest of the shit was cool.
Scooby, did you ever see the art that Richard Art made for you?
No, I haven't seen anything. Rich, I'm sorry, man. If you're listening or watching, I've been really busy, like just crazy shit going on in my personal life. You know. Why, do you have it on hand?
Probably sent it to me.
Rich, actually, yeah, you got me on Discord, man. Send it to me. I'll look at whatever you got.
Three up votes, 3 down votes. Thank you, everybody.
Cool. At least you're on an even keel. Got me looking up sharks now, damn it.
I love eating some sharks, especially some mako. Oh my god, them things are so good. The meat is sweet on its own to me.
Yeah, well, it's easy for you to say, landlubber. You're not out in the water with these things often. Oh,
It used to
man.
be.
These things are actually the reason that I stopped wanting to go into the water. I hate these things.
Oh, now down to 4 down votes. Oh well. Thank you for the interaction. Thank you for the views.
Well, they only get the views if they watch it for 3 seconds.
I really don't care. It's still counting as a view because it takes, depending on the computer, at least 3 seconds for it to fully load.
No, it's 3 seconds of runtime.
Just bothers me. You'd think that they get lives.
I'm not worried about it.
No, I mean, like, it's not like it's worried, like, oh, woe is me. It's one of those things, like, I'm concerned. Like, what was his name wound up in the clock tower in Texas? With the rifle shooting at people? I'm afraid that these idiots aren't going to be able to find enough clock towers. There's tons of them.
Yeah, Rich says he did send me the image. I'm going into my messages now. Okay. Getting ready to present.
Life is short. If you can't laugh at yourself, call me. I will.
There you go, Scooby.
That is really cool. That is really cool. Thank you, Rich. That is awesome.
Now color it in and he'll use it for his avatar.
Oh, yeah. He even got the hair.
Yep.
Hey, what up, mechanic?
Not much.
Oh. Yes, mechanic. Yeah. After the show, I'll hop onto PD2.
Awesome. Yeah.
And guess who's gonna join us when he gets home from work?
Burns! Finally! I don't have to beat him over the head with a stick anymore. You can do that for me.
Now all you have to say is your bitch is playing PD2 and he'll hop on.
There you go.
Yeah. I literally just bought it for her today.
That's very cool of you. Awesome.
Yeah. Steam was being an ass, so I went to Green Guy Gaming. Got the freaking redeemable code off of it. It's like, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah, I would put it in the code and it's like, it's invalid.
Yeah, so we had to go through all kinds of bullshit.
That sucks. Well, at least you finally got it all worked out, though.
Yeah, because
Cool.
apparently Steam doesn't let you gift the Ultimate Edition. It'll let you gift the regular edition, but not the Ultimate Edition with all the DLCs. It's like, this is retarded.
That's frustrating. Sorry that you went through it, but I'm glad that you actually got it all like ironed out.
Oh yeah, it was just a few. It was just a few extra steps.
Okay, I'm laughing at this because my roommate's kid loves Paw Patrol. The Onion says Paw Patrol writers defend episode where German Shepherd cop shoots unarmed black lab 17 times in the back.
Oh God, that's so wrong. You gotta love it. You really do.
I'm imagining this German Shepherd with a taser gun now. What the fuck is he shooting him with?
Oh man.
Oh, that's just too funny.
German Shepherd with a taser gun? He got a taser. Got a taser gun or a friggin' potato gun or something like that?
Jim Carrey's still going on, but somebody used a different photo because he doesn't have that fucking woolly thing attached to his face. He's not covered in tribbles.
God, I hate tribbles. Seriously.
Oh, you know they love you.
They multiply. I play Star Trek Online, and you stick one tribble in your inventory. An hour later, you have like 10. Like, literally. An hour later, you have like 9 more of them in your inventory. It's like, ah! You just want to strangle the person who actually added tribbles into the game.
Cool.
Oh, I'm watching this
They're
cute
actually
video
the
of
game
an
I'm
otter
designing.
eating a boiled egg.
Nice.
Otters are so cute.
Oh, so I was out. I hit Walmart for a new stereo harness for my truck, and then I went over to AutoZone, and you guys might get a kick out of this. So this bunch of teenagers came into AutoZone while I was paying for the stereo and the install kit for it. Now, they came in and they were going all the way down to, I don't remember where they were going to. But anyway, they're talking about this ice storm that was supposed to hit. And they're like, we need windshield wiper blades. And, they were all freaking out and, just going nuts over these windshield wiper blades. And, the guy pointed them back to where all the windshield wiper blades. And halfway through my transaction, they come back and they're like, and they're just asking so many questions about these windshield wiper blades. And the guy walks back with them, and like maybe 30 seconds later, they walk back with these Wipex blades. And, they spend like, I don't know, $10 on these blades. And the guy goes out with them and he installs them on their car. It was so funny. They spent maybe like 5 minutes back there trying to decide on these blades. And the guy goes back 30 seconds later. He comes back with this pair of blades. It's like, okay. I thought that was absolutely hysterical.
Yeah, it's scary though that these kids are like that. Wow.
Well, I mean, the surprising part is they were using their own money to buy these blades.
Okay, that is a shock.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, what? It's like, whoa, hold on a minute here. That's not usual. That's not normal.
Yeah.
Does anybody know what's up with this Asian guy and his, fabric trick where he has like the teacups and shit on him?
Yeah, I don't care
No
about these
idea.
guys.
No idea.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking about that old tablecloth trick where you pull the freaking tablecloth real fast.
I remember that trick when
All right, hold on. Here we go. We're gonna start the video over.
Yeah, that's basically the tablecloth trick.
Yeah, but he does it with several different things, several different ways.
Why couldn't he be a woman?
where is his junk is the question.
He's Asian.
Man, that guy has way too much time on his hands. You know, now that I think of the tablecloth trick, I'm reminded of this scene from Jim Carrey's The Grinch, Who Stole Christmas. Yeah, he's trying to decide what to wear, and the first outfit he picks, he pulls the tablecloth perfectly off the table, and everything's sitting there all pretty, and then he comes back, and he just knocks everything over, and the table just kind of keels over on the ground. And he walks in.
One of my favorite Christmas movies.
Yeah, I love that because it's hilarious. And one of my favorite scenes in that is when he's first powering up his finished sleigh, and it just boosh, and it starts spinning, and he's like, "We're gonna die, I'm gonna throw up, and I'm gonna die. Mommy, make it stop."
Okay, so this just came into my Twitter feed, and this was from 3/30/17. Australia hit by real life Sharknado.
Fucking what?
Really?
Yeah.
Like a friggin'
yeah,
tornado actually deposited sharks.
Screenshot the ground covered in fucking mud.
It was bound to happen sooner or later.
Of all the movies we predict the future, I never would have thought it would have been that.
Of all those movies, it was bound to happen sooner or later because the amount of storms that happen.
There's a dead shark in the middle of the road.
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
Go ahead.
The Australian state of Queensland was hit hard this week, that week, by a vicious tropical cyclone. And while there has been property damage, thankfully no one was seriously injured by Cyclone Debbie. Well, no one unless you count this 5-foot-long shark that was found dead this morning near the floodwaters. The bull shark was found in a puddle in the town of Ayr, just north of where Cyclone Debbie made landfall. Queensland's fire and emergency services shared photos of the poor shark on Twitter, warning people to stay out of the floodwaters that are currently swamping the area. Nobody seemed to want to call this what it is, a real-life Sharknado. The Sharknado is, of course, when a cyclone that has become infested with sharks exacts destruction on a populated area. The rare phenomenon gained public attention after the 2013 documentary Sharknado.
Documentary, my foot. It was a movie.
Well, not anymore if you look at these pictures.
I know, right?
Heavy rains are continuing in the region. Emergency crews are still performing rescue operations for people trapped in the flooding. Sharks in schools aside, Australians are perhaps the most devastated when they learned that the chaos of Cyclone Debbie had caused the beloved 4X brewery to catch fire.
The fire won't affect the beer supply. I love how that's underlined.
After the floodwater recedes, everyone is going to need a drink to tell the story where they had been hit when Sharknado hit Australia, because it did. This was a Sharknado. Don't question science.
That's great.
Oh, that is hilarious. You know, with the amount of sharks in the ocean and the amount of cyclones that happen every year, it was bound to happen eventually. It was bound to happen eventually.
Yep. Wow.
That
This is.
doesn't make it any less hilarious, though. Sorry, Scoop. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. I'm just looking at these shark their ranges, and it looks like like almost every species, for whatever reason, their range just happens to include my home. That's just lovely. Like even some of them, they'll show they're all over, like they'll be in a different spot of the planet, and then they'll just be a little dot on the map, and I blow it up, and it's my home. Like, oh, okay, we go to Australia and New York. That's just great.
I feel sorry for you, Scoob.
Well, didn't
Oh,
the first Sharknado actually hit California, and then the second one was in New York?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm not sure, but I swear those Sharknadoes were following that one dude around.
Well, that's because that's I do believe that's Brian Austin Green from 90210. He's a dick anyway.
Yeah, he kind of deserved it.
I loved him best in fucking Domino, where Domino beats the fuck out of him.
That was a good movie.
Oh, Keira Knightley was awesome in that movie.
Too skinny for my taste.
I loved
too
that
skinny.
movie.
I like a thick woman. She wasn't
Well,
thick enough for
eventually,
me.
the real Domino, she died not long. I think it was like a year or two after the movie came out, or just before the movie came out, of cancer.
Yeah.
She was a bounty hunter her entire life. She never stopped.
Hey, money's there if you're ready to make it.
If you're ready to make it and you don't mind chasing assholes down.
Well, you don't have to take everything that comes across your desk. Like, if they had somebody who, like, I mean, this guy was a real bastard, yeah, I wouldn't mind hunting them down. It's one of those things where, transporting them back. I mean, you can put the guy in the trunk of a car, and you can drive through a parking lot with a lot of bumps. You can really, you
Real
can have
quick,
some fun with them.
Ryder, I'm sorry about your stepbrother's grandma dying. It sucks when a family member dies.
My condolences. Who's that? Ryder's in the chat.
Yep.
My condolences, Ryder.
Oh, I'm to 7 downvotes. Yay, interaction.
7? Wow, I think that means that a lot of them must have given up life.
Wow.
You want to feel bad for these people, you really do, but they make it so hard for you to feel bad for them.
I don't care anymore.
I can't help it. I'm a compassionate person. Look, when I was going out for Eagle Scout, I was trying to teach religious instruction to people of different walks of life. Some of them had Down syndrome. Some of them were really severely autistic on the spectrum. A lot of them had all different sorts of disorders. And I've never dealt with people like this, though, that I've dealt with on the net. Just mass delusion, for lack of a better term. So, but I mean, look, if I could sit there and teach people who wore helmets, the nativity, I could teach these people how to be civil. It's just going to take time and patience.
There's no point.
I look at it this way. I mean, if I'm here anyway, and I'm going to try to talk to people, I'm going to have to deal with these people. They're going to have to learn to be civil. You're going to have to teach them. So it's that's how it is. I look at it like
there's a real simple way to deal with that.
Ignore them.
It's called the block button.
Yeah, exactly. Ignore them.
I've been, but you see, the thing is, other people that are on here, they torment other people, and it's like, okay, so they're gonna come and they're gonna talk to me, and they're gonna try to pull their shit, and they're gonna learn the hard way. None that don't fly with me. You're gonna be civil. So they learn civility. or they just leave the hangout, which is what a lot of them did because they didn't learn civility.
Yeah, it's whatever.
I mean,
It's
so far we've had like no wins, zero, all losses when it comes to my conversion of like chimp to human. But I'm still trying to get them to go up that rung on the evolutionary ladder, and I'm not going to give up. Like I said, if Guy could teach people who wear helmets and adult diapers how to do the nativity and the Stations of the Cross, I can teach these people how to say please, thank you, yes or no, sir. Should be too hard.
It's harder than you think.
Yeah.
I think you'd have more luck trying convincing the guy who has the Flat Earth Society truck
Night, Rich.
that the Earth is actually round.
Yeah, right. Good night, Rich. Yeah.
Night, Rich.
Like me personally, I don't have a problem with the flat earthers as long as they're not belligerent. It's the ones who get violent over it.
The same thing with me when it comes to the fucking vegans.
Yeah. Oh, they annoy the shit out of me. That, I was a member of, PETA when I was younger. I turned my back on PETA right when they decided they were going to start, like, targeting the parents' children. Like, okay, we're going to go after the kids of the women who wear fur. And my thing is, I understand completely, they want to go after the women who wear, like, the fashionable furs and all that. But then they started like, well, what about the people who wear fur-lined shit, in the wintertime? We're going to go after them too. And my thought was, it's cold. People have been wearing fur for thousands of years. It's the same thing. They had a problem with hunters. And I was like, yeah, I'm all for that. They're like, yeah, even if they're hunting to feed their family. I'm like, no, that I don't have a problem with. I don't like just, I'm going to kill this thing. I'm going to kill this thing. Yeah. Kill this thing, leave it here, and just take its antlers, or just take part of it. That I have a problem with. But if you're going to take the whole animal,
if you're going to take the whole animal and use it, yeah, go for it, kill it. But if you're just going to take the fur or the actual valuable part of it, or the monetary valuable part, then no, don't kill it.
Nah. When I was homeless, my friend Smokey, he killed what he thought was a rattlesnake. I was like, dude, you're a fucking idiot. It's a rat snake. He's like, it's got the markings. I was like, no, there's a rat snake markings, you dumbass. It's a baby. It doesn't have its rattle yet. I was like, actually, they have 3 little spurs for rattles when they're born, and rattlesnakes give live birth. So, yeah, it's a rat snake. Well, we're gonna cook it and eat it. Okay, yeah. Skin it. So he guts it, he skins it. We let it hang to bleed out a little bit. I cut it up, and I end up doing a slow deep fry. Not intentional, but that's what ended up happening. The next day, snake was so good. Tasted like popcorn chicken. And then I took the Smokey was he's like, I'm going to turn the snake skin into a boot. I was like, you're an idiot. So I took the snake skin and I dried it. I got it cured and everything. And I grabbed a leather belt. I split the snake skin in half and wrapped it around the belt and then sewed it on with leather thread by hand, and now he has a snakeskin belt.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is why when, other people will complain, you need to get Tara out of camp, and he's like, do you know what she does for me? And he literally, his girlfriend at the time was like, I want her out of here. I don't want her here at all. She does this, and this. And he's like, well, number 1, you tried to steal her shit. So yeah, she's going to try and kill you. He goes, number 2, you tried to steal her shit again. So yeah, she went after you with my gun. And number 3, do you see this belt? And he literally, like, because I even took the snake head and turned it into the buckle.
Cool.
And he shook it at her. He's like, "Do you see this belt? She made this." And she's like, "I don't care. I want her gone." And he goes, "Bye, Felicia." Talking to her.
Nice.
And that's
Like-
how ultimatums eventually turn out.
Like a week
Badly.
later, it was outside of season, but it was what we call a nuisance critter. We had an alligator that was around the camp, and what it was doing is it was stealing our food that we were putting in the creek to keep it cold. And so he ended up killing that sucker. We had gator tail, gator leg, stuff like that. I preferred the gator tail. And again, I took the skin and made it into. I think this one I turned into a knife holster because I had a knife that needed a holster on it, and lo and behold, excuse me, knife sheath. I'm tired. I took my pain pill. Lo and behold, someone decided to steal my gator skin knife sheath. They didn't steal the fucking knife, just the sheath.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of hard to do anything with a Bowie knife that's dull as fuck, but I kept it dull because, well, it's more painful when I stab you and gut you with it.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we took off bikes and we all went fishing down by the bay. Me, my cousin, and one of my cousin's friends. And when we came back, my cousin's bike was gone, my cousin's friend's bike was gone, and these assholes actually taped $1 to my seat because my bike was such a piece of shit.
Lay down.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll never forget that. My one cousin was so pissed off at me. He's like, "Why the fuck did they do that to you? Why did they do that?" I said, "Because no one wants my bike. It's a piece of shit."
The advantage of owning a piece of shit. No one wants
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Hey guys, I gotta hop out. It's 20 to 12. I didn't realize it was this late already. I'll be around all day tomorrow. If you guys want, hit me up. I'll talk to you then.
I think I'm gonna call it anyway.
All right. Good night,
Go ahead,
guys.
chill if you want, Scooby.
Huh?
Chill.
Oh, okie dokie. You guys know the deal. I'm Scooby331. You can follow me here on YouTube. I am on Minds.com, GabAI, Patreon, and PayPal. If you guys are feeling generous, I could use a little bit of cash into PayPal. I'm trying to get a folding bike so I can get around Manhattan better. It's easier to take the folding bike on the train because of the curfew for regular bikes. So I have that PayPal. If you guys want to hit me up, I'd appreciate it. And I am on Instagram. I have still not figured out how to use the thing, so there's nothing on there, so don't
You
bother.
have to take a picture with your phone, go to post it on there, and then you can type a caption to go with it, but there has to be a picture.
All right, I'll try to figure it out before 2020. That's part of my New Year's resolution. I'll try to figure out Instagram. But yeah, that's everything I got cooking right now. Yeah, there should be some videos. I'm going to try to put some videos up this week coming. So stay tuned.
All right, Sarah's asleep.
I'm awake.
You just woke up. You missed the entire fucking show.
Oh, sorry. I said I ain't so good. Sorry, I'm congested really bad.
Go ahead and
Yeah.
chill.
I really don't have anything. I'm Queen of the South. You can find me here on YouTube, or you can find me on Discord.
All right, mechanic.
You can find me on YouTube. I am Darkwitch1941, otherwise known as the Mechanic, and you will be finding Payday 2 videos coming up tomorrow.
Oh, is that going to be you and me playing?
Yeah, partially.
Cool.
All right, Kelp. Baby brother.
Hmm?
Chill.
I got nothing right now.
Okay. And I am Terracin, your favorite cyber bitch. You can find me on pretty much any social media. Tomorrow I will be getting a tutorial on how to use Shortcut from the next 6 minutes, and so I will be doing my own Eagle video. Fuck you, Burnside. And I am going to be working on a Cedar Key video, doing the history of it from a Floridian, not these other fuckers that come in. Oh, we're gonna do historical stuff on places we don't fucking live. Fuck you. All right, so everyone have a good night.
Night all.
Good night.